Today we are going to draw this object in an orthographic view, front, top, side, in a 2:1 scale. That means every dimension on my paper will be drawn twice as large. So here, if it's a 1/4 inch, let's just do a little math here. It's 1/4 inch times 2:1. That's that ratio. It's going to be 2/1. 1 times 2 is 2. 4 times 1 is 4. Equals 1/2. Don't forget your units. Inch. So for my front view, down here, I'm going to draw 1/2 inch for a width line. My height is 1 inch. 1/1 times 2/1. 1/1 inches equals 2 inches. I draw a 2-inch line straight up. So now that I'm up here, I'm going to draw this width line. It's the same width as this one. And we are in a 2:1 scale, so it's going to be 1/2 inch. Now I need to complete this rectangle. I've finished drawing here. These 2 points are the same. Now I'm going to draw straight down. 2 inches. Now, in a front view, I can only see height and width. So I don't draw this, but I can use it to guide me to my next width line. This width line is a 1/4 inch. 1/4 in our scale of 2:1, 2:1, 2:1 is 1/2 inch. Half an inch goes up 1/2 inch. Now the width line is 1/2 inch. This height line is 1/2 inch. In this remaining section, there's 2 edges of the triangle, so that's 1/2 inch on my paper. 1/2 inch times 2/1 equals 1, 2. It's 2 inches over 2 equals 1 inch. So my width line will be 1 inch. And to find this angle, I'm just going to connect the dots. So I'm going to connect these lines. Great. Now using my ruler and a very light pencil stroke, I'm going to send my height lines for my side view. I'm going to do my side view next. There's another height. Okay, it's light enough that I can see it on my paper, and it's going to help me with my side view. Now if I were to take this, here's my front, and turn it, my side view will look like this. But since it's 2-dimensional, I won't see shadows. So let's get started by doing that front edge. Now the height is the same. So using my ruler, I'm going to draw a straight up and down line that goes from one of my invisible lines, or my construction lines, to the other. It's 2 inches. Now, looking at my image, this is 1/2 inch, so I go back. 1/2 inch is the same as an inch on my paper. 1 inch line. And I'm going to do another height line, which is the same as the front view, so 2 inches, which should touch that line. And I can connect these because I know that the object is flat. It's a depth line just like this. Now for this next portion, it's going to go 1, 2, okay, another 1/2 inch in real life, which is the same as 1 inch on my paper. 1 inch. So from this point, I have to think about what this is going to look like. If I look, let's see, there we go. It's straight. So I'm going to draw a straight up and down line. That's 2 inches. This ruler is too tiny. Yeah. But I can use that line I drew before as a guide. And now I just finish. But I need my hidden line. So using my front view, this is going to show up here as a hidden line. Line it up. And use a dotted line. My top view is very similar in the way it starts. I'm going to do light pencil to send my lines up. Anything that's a width that's different, unique widths, would get sent up. So now, front view, top view. I see that this portion is going to be the bottom of it. And we can tell from the image. So I'm going to start with a width line for my top view. And that width line should be 1/2 inch. Okay? Now the depth of my object is 1 inch. It should be the same as this. So you're going to have a 2-inch line going this way because it's a 2-to-1 scale. 2-inch line straight up. Now, I know the width of this rectangle is the same here and here, and it looks like, oh look, depth, width, depth, width. I'm going to draw the rectangle here. So it should be a 2-inch line, straight up, and a width, I draw it at 1/2 inch. Last section, the depth here is going to be the same as the depth here. It's going to go out straight this way, down 1/2 inch, straight this way. So since that depth is 1 inch, I'm going to draw a 2-inch line. One inch straight down, 2 inches. Almost done. I need hidden lines. So I take my ruler, line it up, or I use my lines from before, because there's a very light line. That's one hidden line. Two hidden lines. Now we need to dimension. To dimension, I need all the height, all the width, and all the depth. So let's start with height. I'm going to have a height line here. To show the height of this. I'm also going to have total height. And now for time, I'm just going to draw these arrowheads quickly. This, well, let's see. I'll get to that in a second. Use my ruler for a nice clean line. Okay. So when I dimension this, I drew this 1/2 inch tall, but don't write 1/2 inch. It is a 2-to-1 scale. So what we need to dimension is the real measurement. The real object is only a 1/4 inch tall here. So I'm going to write 1/4. The real height is 1 inch. I'm going to pause and finish my dimensions. Boom! All right, so I have my height dimensions, my width dimensions, and my depth dimensions. Oh, I'll do this upside down. If you look on Google Maps at your house, your entire house fits on your little computer screen. Does that mean that your real house is any smaller? No, it's the scale. And the same is true with our dimensions. That is why, even though I drew this segment right here, this width, 1 full inch, I am using the measurement of the actual object for my dimensions. So it is, even though the drawn length is 1 inch, the actual length is written for my dimensions. Okay, I have a height for here, I have total height, I have a width for here, a width for here, a width for here, a width for the whole thing, and I left that blank because they can subtract to find this. All of my depth dimensions are up here. This is what your drawing should look like. Submit your drawing once you have it looking like this.